Christ overcame the world. He overcame the world. And ever so slowly, ever so gently, if you start on the path back to being your true self, the self that God gives you, a little part of you that begins to grow, develop character. See, now you don't have any character. You do for people so that they'll do for you, or you do for people because you feel guilty, or you know you should do but you really don't want to, or you do so that they'll think you're nice and all that. It gets so complicated. But there's a part of you that can do good without even knowing that it's doing good. It just does it naturally, just like a butterfly floats through the air, or a chipmunk climbs a tree, like a ballerina dances across the stage, like you get up and walk from one side of the room to the other side of the room. You just do, and there's something good there. That part of you, God nourishes and helps to grow. So now, when we eat, now do you understand why when we eat, not only the old way, the only way you've ever known, not only does it reinforce the animal, which is okay, but it does. You see what I mean? But it also has been confiscated by this pride. And pride, when you eat, see, if you eat angrily or pridefully, or you eat for unawareness, you eat to escape, to forget. To forget what? To forget guilt, to forget responsibility, to forget the way you failed with your kids this morning because you were impatient with them. You eat to forget that. Then all it does is keep you in that lower state, see? Because our consciousness is supposed to rise, to become more aware, to have more understanding, see? More thoughtfulness. But when it lowers, then you have less and less, and eventually nothing at all. So, do you understand now? That if you can eat, remembering Him, when instead of eating to forget, you eat to remember. Now, if you eat when you celebrate your holidays or you celebrate things, you eat to remember how great you are, how good you are, what your accomplishments are. Pleasure. Do you see what I mean? But if you eat to remember Him, to remember to be thoughtful. When you eat, to remember to be aware, to always be watching for the rightness of things, and to have understanding, and not impatient, not rushing. See, when you're rushing, you don't have understanding. When you make some goal, even if it's just, I got to do this, it tends to take away understanding. But when you eat to remember, then that eating, see, it has a different effect. It strengthens and nourishes the new you, the child of God you, instead of causing unawareness and forgetfulness. And it is in unawareness and in forgetfulness and in anger and in pride that the alien you, the you that's not you, that came from the world, remember I gave examples of how stuff gets on the inside? It gets on the inside too. So, the eating and remembering Him is a very nice thing. And if you can take a bite one bite, remembering Him. And then after that, probably you'll be gone. You know how we get lost in food? And then 10 minutes later, you say, wow, what happened? I ate all that food. Where'd it go? See? But if you can have awareness at all when you eat, it's a very powerful thing, because in that moment, something good comes in. Instead of something bad, something good comes. With the food, something good comes. And it strengthens the new you. The you that you once were a long time ago, when you were a little child, before you were upset, and before things went wrong, and you got angry at people and so on. But now you'll be an adult, not a little child anymore. And now you'll be able to go out in the world and strengthen. See, there's not much you have to do. The little meditation that I have, do that a little bit every day. Eat with awareness. And as you go through life, just be watchful. Instead of getting caught up in things, instead of getting lost in things, you're a little bit detached, and you watch, you observe, you see, you understand. And it is in that way that you grow as a child of God. It's a beautiful thing, and you're not in charge of it. God is. There's nothing you have to do. You don't have to go study. You don't have to go do pull-ups or push-ups. There's nothing you do. Just be. And God will take care of the rest. In fact, He will give you the power to eat with awareness, to hang on to some awareness. See, in the past, you couldn't hang on to it. You were gone. The food pulled you away, the thoughts, the daydreams, the memories, the planning, the scheming. It pulled you away. The television, the video games, conversations, everything pulled you into it. Now you'll have the power to stand back. And one of the things that's really, really hard to stand back from is food. Because it's the life support for the fallen self. So now you'll be able to eat, and it will provide nourishment for your body. And it won't rob you of your awareness, of your understanding. And because of that, you'll be able to eat better without even trying. You'll begin to your habits, your food habits will be modified. You'll find you'll be able to eat moderately, and the right food, not the food that you used to eat, and the alcohol and the marijuana and the drugs. They just give you up. They just won't have any interest in you anymore, because that was the old way of life. You see? It's beautiful. Awareness, see, the awareness. If you're a smoker, for example, and you take one puff of that cigarette with awareness, you may never smoke again. It just, suddenly it becomes something you're not interested in. No effort, no struggle, nothing. It's magic. But everything God does is magic. There's magic in the moment. There's magic everywhere. And there's also magic for the human being that wants to find out the purpose for his or her existence. And it doesn't want to be the old, angry, resentful self anymore. There's magic. God comes to the assistance of that person. Christ overcame the world. He even overcame food. How many of you can overcome food now? How many of you are overcome by food? Christ overcame everything. And when you become his follower, then you also, he gives you the power to overcome